Okay, so if you would please tell me your name, your age, where you're from, and what you do.
My name is Peter Simpson. My age is 68. I live in West Lebanon, New Hampshire, and I am retired.
And
What
you're
a wonderful
retired
thought.
from what? What did you do?
I was in sales for about 35 years.
Just
Sitting
got
down.
tired of selling stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so Pete, now you had a pretty special story that we're going to share today. You started training down here. Why? What happened?
Well, just about 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, in which the refraction rate of my left ventricle was around 15%. As a result of that and other factors, I had a stroke in 2.5 years ago in August, and basically started training in I think February of 2 years ago, I believe is what it was.
Yeah.
To get back
Now
in.
you were also on. Now, were you on any
Oh
medications
yeah.
before your stroke?
Oh yeah. I was in warfarin, blood beta blocker. But basically, the stroke came about the hospital figures that the pooling of the blood in my left ventricle created a blood clot, which went to the upstairs, and created a minor stroke at that point. Um, so hey, it happens.
Yeah, so I mean, you had incredible difficulty breathing. I remember our first cardiovascular test. We put you on the bike on level 5, which is pretty low, and you couldn't even finish the test because you
Right.
had so much difficulty breathing. And so then we started down a path of corrective exercise training and some very mild cardio training, some machine circuits and stuff. Um, just describe your experience with that whole process. What started to happen?
Well, I had actually, before that, I had been training with my wife for about 15 years, fairly regularly. And I had stopped doing that about 2 years previous to my heart condition. So I wasn't in bad shape,
Right.
but it was just had gone downhill so far that the corrective things we went to, either cardiovascular and lightweight training, was basically getting back into shape a little bit more than anything else.
Well, now with the corrective training, we did some work with your left shoulder. What happened
Right.
there?
Well, my left shoulder, I'd screwed up about, oh God, 20 years ago. Doing, no, about 15. Back when I first started doing weight training, back when I was at the CCB, and I had screwed up somehow doing overhead lifts. Had screwed that up big time, so I couldn't even move it, and it just kept on. It never got any better. So basically, what we did was get a stretching exercise, which took probably about 6 months to a year before it really started getting back into shape. But it was more a matter of moving my right shoulder up. I would be able to do that fine, but my left shoulder was just not responding. So we had to get that straightened out, which is now straightened out quite a bit.
Yeah, your strength test definitely showed that. So now, as far as the cardiovascular changes, what did you notice in your cardiovascular? What did you have to do in order to notice a difference in your cardiovascular fitness?
Basically, get outside and exercise, or come in here and walk. That's the biggest thing. And then also the medication, which has gotten my my standing heart rate, I think resting heart rate originally was about 100, and I'm down to about 58 now.
Yeah, that was amazing. Your resting pulse when we started, I want to say it was either 104 or 107, and now it's down to like 58. So if you calculate that out for beats per year, it was like 58 million when we started, and now it's
Right.
dropped all the way to just 30 million. So you saved
About
28 million beats off of
almost
your heart.
50%. Right.
And your ejection fraction is now up over 60%, which
Right.
puts you back in a normal, healthy category.
Which is
meaning
nice.
you don't really need the attention of a cardiologist anymore.
Nope,
Is that right?
he said, I'll see you later. Don't
you
call
go.
me, I'll call you.
Don't let the door hit you, huh?
No, don't let
Okay.
yes, which is nice, kind of nice, getting rid of the blood thinner, which is a big thing right there, getting rid of the warfarin.
Yeah.
Very important that I get rid of it, and also one beta blocker. I still have another one to go, but that'll go. It'll get
Yeah,
out.
so you're dropping medications, and then in addition to that, your strength test, you went from 6,100 pounds worth of work in your first strength test 2 years ago. Today, you did 11,500 pounds. That's an 89% improvement. What all have you noticed since you have just been on a dedicated program, just monitoring your heart and all that stuff, what do you notice you're able to do more?
Well, I'm able to do a heck of a lot more. In other words, walk upstairs. Yesterday I walked up where I couldn't do it before without stopping, up Seminary Hill. I went up at a fairly brisk pace yesterday afternoon, and my heart rate went up to, I'd say, about 125 or so, whereas before I'd have to stop, and it would really start popping out when I first started doing that. When I first started walking up the hill, it would really, I'd have to stop and regain my strength a little bit, get my heart rate down.
So now, what would you tell somebody who's had a cardiovascular event? Because oftentimes people feel kind of hopeless and they don't know if they can do anything, or they get afraid. What would you say?
I would say don't be afraid. Go to your cardiologist and find out if they can do exercise, and if so, how much. And then get with a trainer as far as who understands what they're getting into, and confess to them, hey, this is what I need to do. How do I get to this stage of my life? It's taken me, well, not quite, almost 3 years to get back to the point where I can actually do things again. Which is, I'm going on a cruise this year, next year actually. I go to the winter, every winter I go to St. Martin for 3 weeks. But I mean, the point is, you can do things, but you've got to get on a training regimen or a course of corrective action, more so than anything else.
So let me ask you this. So when this all happened, when this event first happened, were you kind of worried that you didn't have much time left? You ever worry about that?
No, not really.
No?
No, not really.
But how are you feeling about things now? I mean, just in terms of your overall health.
Well, overall I'm fine. I mean, like I said, we're going next August following. It's August of 2018. We're going to take a transatlantic cruise. We already put in the deposit for
You
that.
going over to England or Portugal?
No, going to Copenhagen, then come back through Norway, Iceland, and then back to Boston.
That's awesome.
The thing there is that it's we leave from Boston and we end up in Boston. We don't have to pay for plane fare. So, something I looked at last year.
Now, one last thing I wanted to ask you, because Easter's right around the corner. You used to sing in your choir.
I still do.
Church. You still do?
Oh, yeah.
Has that gotten any better?
My singing?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
I mean, I've been singing for 30 years, so I mean, what the hell.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, hey, man, thanks for sharing your good news. I hope you have a happy Easter.
You too also. Thank you.